to give an opening statement and then take questions.
Really proud of our team on a lot of different fronts. It's been a long couple of weeks, but really a long 4 days. Javon got really sick. Pickett got really sick at UMass. He was fine on the plane there, no problem. In the middle of the night, he gets really sick. You're concerned about him, and then obviously making sure he's okay as best we could. And then we don't play very well at UMass, and we were disappointed in our effort and disappointed in how we played. And then we had plane issues, got back here bus arrived here at 5 a.m. Thursday morning. And that's tough because you have a quick turnaround, very quick turnaround, especially an early game here on Saturday. And we were really concerned about that the whole way back. Like, we got to figure out how to get our guys caught up because they're up, for a long period of time. And then Thursday comes, and you get the news with Fred Thatch. And I've dealt with a lot of injuries through my playing career and as a coach, and had to deal with some things. But having to call him to my office and tell him that news was tough. And I got the news, and I started reflecting after they told me, and they wanted me to tell him, but I started reflecting by myself just all he's been through. Seems like the young man couldn't catch a break. But then I started thinking about it. And as I told him when he came in, and I told him, and he handled it a lot better than I did, but I told him how proud I was because he came here and took advantage of the opportunity he had here to get an incredible education. He didn't waste his time here by no stretch of the imagination. He will not be defined by an injury. He'll be defined of all the great things he's done since he's been here and going to continue to do. But he has been the definition of a student athlete. His picture should be right there. He is the definition of it. Graduated St. Louis University in 3 years as a student athlete. That's not easy to do. And just been exemplary in everything that we've asked him to do. He's the guy we ask him to talk to groups. We ask him to do a lot when it comes to those things. He's the one guy that actually speaks up a little bit on our team, and that's been a whole nother issue this year, and he actually says a few things. But it was tough. It was tough, but he handled it very maturely. First thing that comes out of his mouth, he said, "Coach, I thought it wasn't going to be good news, but I have no regrets. None." It's the first thing. It's verbatim. And I said, "Well, you shouldn't." I said, "You've just helped me," because I was struggling with it for him. Care less what it means to the team. Figure those things out. But that's a young man that's given a lot to us, through some very difficult situations. We all can, his only injury-free, illness-free year was his freshman year 5 years ago. Every single year after that, he has been dealing with some stuff, and he's just handled it like a professional. Never made an excuse. How he's handled a lot is a lot that I can learn from. I thought a lot about it last night, just sitting in bed at 2 a.m., just thinking about, gosh, what a impressive young man. With all that said, I don't worry about Fred Thatch. Fred Thatch is going to be A-OK. Fred Thatch is going to be highly successful. He's going to use what he learned here on this campus to make him. He's going to have a great life ahead of him, just really proud of him. But happy with our team tonight. Good effort. Probably one of the better games we've played on both sides of the ball. Yuri Collins might played one of the better defensive games I've ever seen. Coached. He guarded a guy. He held a guy to 1 point who had been averaging 30 over the last 2, 3, 4 games. Held him to 1 point. Our bench played well. So pleased with the victory. for us to play the way we want to play, the way we're capable of playing, and have the success we want to have, it's essential. And I'm not talking about they got to go out and make a bunch of shots every game. And I could say this from every player on down. You know, you got to give more than just your strength as a player. And every player has an individual strength, maybe one or two or three. But that's not enough to have success with. And what I love about Larry is not dependent on having to make a shot in order to be effective in our games. He's playing some defense. He's handling the ball. He's scrappy. You know, he's a guy that you look out there and he's just trying to earn more minutes. And I said, that's the way even if you're a veteran player, you probably need to play, even if you're getting 30 minutes. Sincere Parker, I like that his defense has gotten better. Still a little ways to go, but, you know, it's great when he's making shots. Everything's better when you're making shots. Everything's better. But what players' strengths are, I don't worry about that. I worry about the other stuff. What else are you bringing us besides that? Because, you know, sometimes that can come and go. Maybe your strength just wasn't there that night. But what else are you going to do? And we have not been getting that. We have not been getting that.
Defensively, I guess other than what Benning was doing in the second half, how did you rate your defensive performance tonight?
It was terrific. 4 nights ago, we gave up 90. And then we play a team that's really, really good offensively, and we hold them to 55. I thought it was very good. We defended in transition. We defended the three-point line. And for the most part, we defended the paint off the dribble. Yes, their 5-man had a big game, but we left him on an island down there a little bit and said, all right, it gets to a certain point in the game, you just don't want to give up some threes. And, you know, as long as they move the ball and then throw it inside, we could probably sustain it a little bit. But overall, I thought our defense was as a team, my guys are absolutely sick and tired of hearing me say play some team defense over the last 2 days, because we have not played team defense. Everybody's played individual defense. Individual defense is, hey, I got my guy, and doesn't do, you know, that's not good enough. And I think they got the message over the last couple of days. Now can we sustain it? But very good, Stu. It was good, obviously.
Coach, in the last, final minutes, you left your starters out there to kind of close out the game. Was there any thought, especially after Yuri kind of came up a little limp, to maybe get them out of the game? Was there something to that, keeping them in late in the game?
We're trying to win, period. No, I mean, we've given up some leads, so nothing is safe until, maybe the 2-minute mark. I thought we were good. It's about the only time I thought, all right, we're fine. By that time, we just need to finish it out. We just need to finish it out. So, and I was going to leave Gibby in and stuff to get, hopefully, maybe see a couple balls go through the net, and that happened a little bit, and so we were just trying to finish strong at this point. We're trying to still figure out how to be our best on a consistent basis, and no, it didn't cross my mind.
Anybody else for Coach? So you were thinking about the leads and what's happened in the past in terms of making sure you
I'm trying getting our guys a good feeling. Yeah, no leads are safe. I mean, after a minute and a half, but they kept their guys in, so we're going to keep rolling. So, yeah. Thank you. Thanks, guys.
Your coach said you played maybe the best defensive game he's ever seen someone play. That's pretty high praise. How did you feel about it?
What you think?
I can't quote myself.
You watch a lot of basketball. I mean, I think it was pretty good. Held on to 1 point. But that was helped with my teammates also. I didn't do it by myself, so we just did a good job on them overall.
Ed, what about the team defense? And obviously, I know he's been pushing that hard since you got home from UMass. Much better today.
Yeah, it was, I mean, team defense. It's not one-on-one defense. It's not Larry, you guard your man. Yuri, you guard your man. Gibson, you guard your man. It's team defense. So we focused on that a lot. He talked about it a lot. We watched a lot of film. It was just all us buying in, helping each other out, digging in the post. A lot of times we see film where guys driving in the lane and no one's helping. Everybody's just looking. So it was a big emphasis on getting in those gaps, swiping at the ball, just getting some hands in the play, not leaving nobody on the island by themselves.
Larry, you and Sincere both hit a bunch of threes in the middle of the second half. When St. Bonaventure was kind of hanging around. It really seemed to energize the crowd. You feel it? Does that kind of thing kind of get you more, fired up and make you feel even more comfortable on the court now?
Yeah, for sure. Especially when they're getting the crowd into it. Making timely shots like that. It definitely fuels me and my teammates on both ends of the floor. Gets us down in our positions. The energy ramps up a little bit. So I think those big shots and timely shots do help us as far as energy goes.
Did you draw another charge tonight? Did you get a charge?
I had one. Yeah, I did. Yep.
How do you feel like your defense is progressing in terms of is that something that you really focus more on that end of it right now?
For sure. I know I'm not going to get a lot of plays called from me, so I got to go get it on the defensive end. YC is one of the best defensive point guards in the country, so just learning how he plays, the spots to be in, using my IQ to get deflections, get in the right positions, all help me on the defensive end.
You don't call plays for the
He don't need no plays called for him. I just give him the ball whenever he open. He do what he do.
Larry, does it help getting extra time on the floor? Like you've obviously earned it. Coach just said that you're not reliant on getting a shot or a shot going in to getting playing time. How do you translate using those short bursts to earning more as it goes on?
Yeah, just whatever time I get out there, whenever in the game, just go out there and just play as hard as I can. That's all I can do. I've been doing it in practice. That's kind of the reason why I kind of got a couple more minutes. And plus Fred going down. I know we need that energy guy, that glue guy. So I'm trying to just do it as half as Fred would do it for us, and just give it all I got by the time I get out there.
Yuri, again, Coach was talking about closing out the game, especially after what happened last time. I know it's not like something you're thinking about, but I mean, was there an emphasis on making sure you guys didn't let that thing get dwindle down under 10 or let them make a run this time?
I thought about it today. Up 18 last game and we let it slip. I looked at the score, bro. We was up 16. I was like, it could happen again, but I wasn't gonna let it happen again. So we were good.
Why was this different?
Had a different mindset and learn from your past. It happened before. Like I said, I wasn't gonna let it happen again.
You guys got super balanced scoring and minutes were more spread out a little bit. Are you guys going to need contributions like Larry, Sincere, Jake, so on, to kind of turn this thing around now? Is that maybe part of the key to things?
For sure. We didn't start the season off how we wanted. and we just got to make some adjustments and getting those guys in the game or the adjustments we need to make. They earned that playing time. Larry earned his playing time. Sincere earned his playing time. We got guys that can come off the bench and give us a burst on both sides of the ball. So getting those guys in the game, I trust them. You have some games where our scores ain't scoring, so you might have to try something new. So getting Sincere and Larry and guys like TJ switching out here with Javon, we might have to see a different rotation. So for sure that's going to help us in the long run.
Or maybe they are part of the guys you now consider your scorers.
You said what?
You said sometimes your scorers aren't scoring, but maybe now the other guys are guys you would consider in that group that you would say are your scorers.
Oh, yeah. I mean, everybody know who our primary scorers are. Javonte, Gibson, Javon. Some of those guys have off nights. It's basketball. It happens. So just getting the flow somehow. And Coach did a good job of subbing when he needed to. Gibson came back in. He had a stretch where he wasn't making any shots. Came back in, gave us a stretch where he hit some big-time shots. So, I mean, it all worked out in the end.
Anybody else? Players? Do you ever practice hitting that shot clock? Straight? Have you worked on that before?
Oh, yeah, all the time. All the time.
All right, thanks, fellas.
Yep.